Hello. You may have seen videos like this on people trying to want to fix a community or their opinion on what's going wrong with it. Most of the people who have said something like that are generally appreciated in the community, and they're very popular. I, on the other hand, are generally unappreciated and pretty unpopular. So, I have a different point of view than everybody else, and just keep in mind, this is my opinion. You can just discard this information or take it into account, if you will. So, therefore, let's get on to it. The first two problems I think the community has is toxicity and hypocrisy. The toxicity part isn't really that surprising since there have been a lot of toxic people in the community and we haven't really been doing the best to stop it. But the second part is the hypocrisy. Let me explain. So, if some person does the slightest thing that some people might consider toxic or something, then the person will be kicked from public access of the community, but when they do, toxicity towards that person explodes. It's if you do something not that bad, but people might get personally offended, you'll get kicked, and then that person will hate you for months on end. That toxicity is what's stopping the community from growing, because you need to change yourself before you can change an entire community. Since the toxicity gained from others that aren't really as influential isn't as destructive as toxicity from people that are really influential towards the community. And even then, the people who are being hated on probably feel terrible, and I don't really think that's fair for everybody. You can't make everybody happy in this case. Reason number 3 is that people are way too sensitive about things because they're afraid that the community will break at any moment. If anybody does the slightest thing, they might be afraid that it could cause extreme destruction to the community, so they get rid of that person and try and keep them out for as long as possible. People like Mari with the plumber, who had done a couple of bad things that I can't really even remember since he'd been hated on for just about a year. That's an example for how sensitive the community can be. I got kicked from Hydro's server for not even breaking a rule. I was close to breaking a rule, but some people were too sensitive about that, and, well, I got kicked from that in HYB, sadly. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to here is that the community is too sensitive about things, and they just want you to be perfect, quote-unquote. You can't really do anything that's slightly bad, or that anybody could take personal offense to. You just, have to act perfect. Which, that's the worst thing to do, because in a community that you can't be yourself, and that you can't make a couple of jokes and stuff, it's not a good community, and it has no flexibility whatsoever. And even then, there are quite a few people who've completely dodged being banned for doing the same things as unpopular people have, but they haven't gotten banned for it. So, the sensitivity and bias towards people that have done some things has been really showing, and that's a glaring flaw in the community and what's stopping it from getting better and a problem with it. The sensitivity is furthermore pushing the community into breaking rather than helping it not break, If we allow to be a little more flexible and can give people second chances and stuff, then that would be a lot better for the people that are banned, and for the people that, have done a couple of wrong things in the past. People that have been looked down on seem to feel excluded and looked down on the community, and they feel that for a very long time. I've been hated on for the past 8 months for things that weren't even really breaking rules, but that some people took personal offense to. I'm not going to go over them now, but it's just an example for, how bad the hated people are treated for an extended period of time. I want to stop that and show like how the hated people feel. The hated people, if you really like think about the people that you're banning rather than the community itself, the people that are being banned and kicked from servers they aren't just like alts, bots, or bad people that just happen to wander in on the community. They're people like you. You're not above anybody. You're not below anybody. Everybody's equal. And you can't just ban somebody just because they made a slight mistake that you might have taken a little bit of personal offense to because you are a little bit sensitive. You know? And how the hated people feel? They usually have an extended sense of anxiety once they feel the extreme hatred that's going on. And I remember when I was kicked from HYB, I felt like it was, well, me, myself, that was the reason. No, it wasn't. It's the community that was extremely sensitive and that couldn't understand that it was like a joke. That some things are jokes and you can't just take personal offense to everything and you just can't take everything seriously. Like, it's ridiculous, and how the hated people feel is more important than how maybe the community feels. Because if you ban the hated people, you might think you're making the community happy, but those hated people are still a part of the community. They're still there, straggling on, hoping to get back and be forgiven. Those people are generally sad, and the fact that some people are afraid to take them back into popular projects like HYB or just Hydro server to like have them be mentioned or get a line or something, it's just sad. If you're afraid of that person just ruining whatever there is just because they've done something such a long time ago, you need to change yourself. You need to become a little less sensitive. Cut some slack, please. How can we help fix the community is the more important question than what's wrong with it. How we can fix the community, people want to know, since they want to make the community as good as they can. They want to make it seem like it's really good and to include everybody and make everybody happy. Well, how do we do that? Well, it's not going to be easy for everybody since it's going to require some change, but it's basically doing the opposite of the first 3 reasons I did. First, you have to have a generally forgiving attitude and to understand people that have done bad things in the past. Rather than hating on them, I see no point in that. I don't know what you're trying to do or to make the people that are being hated on. I don't get what you're trying to make them do by hating on them. It's not helping anything. It's just showing some parts of the community that are bad. It's just showing some weak spots. So, rather than hating on somebody, I'd rather have you ignore them. So, that would be a little better than actually just hating on them. I guess you could remove people for an extended amount of time, like 1 month if they've done something bad, then let them come back and be like, hey, don't do that again. Rather than removing them and hating on them for over half a year. That's kind of overkill. So, for reason number 3, the sensitivity part, just cut some slack. Realize that some things are jokes and you can't take every little thing seriously. Like, if you take everything seriously, then something really bad is going to happen in the future that might have not happened yet. So, before it does happen, we really need to cut some slack and understand that some things are jokes and you can't take everything seriously. For how the hated people feel, just think of them. Think of how you've been treating them and understand that they're people too. People that have been hated are people like you. They're not just bots behind the screen or just any average person who's just trying to destroy community. Like, That's not them. That's not the correct definition of, like, a community member that's, like, been banned. There are people that have been misunderstood. There are people that haven't really been forgiven, and people that are afraid to be brought back because they're afraid that the hated on person will destroy the community. They won't. The influential people are destroying the community piece by piece by the 4 reasons that I've just stated. I hope you take this to account, and I hope this helps shape the community a little better. But until then, work hard, and think of everybody, and try and make some people happy. Thank you for watching.